The learning outcome of this video is for you to be able to understand first, payback period, and second, net present value or NPV. Capital budgeting, or investment appraisal, is the planning process used to determine whether an organization's long-term investments such as new machinery, replacement machinery, new plants, new products, and research development projects are worth the funding of cash through the firm's capitalization structure or not. In assessing the viability of capital investments, the following methods are used. First, the payback period. Second, the net present value or NPV, and the third one is the internal rate of return or IRR. The payback period method is one of the simplest and most frequently used methods of capital investment appraisal. It is defined as the length of time that is required for a stream of cash proceeds from the investment to recover the original cash outlay required by the investment. The stream of cash flows from the investment annually can be constant or not constant. In case of the constant cash flow, the payback period can be calculated by dividing the total initial cash outlay by the amount of the expected annual cash proceeds. For example, if the initial outlay is $60,000 and is expected to produce annual cash inflows of $20,000 per year for 4 years, the payback period will be $60,000 divided by $20,000, or 3 years. If the stream of expected proceeds is not constant from year to year, the payback period is determined by adding up the cash inflows expected in successive years until the total is equal to the original outlay. In this case, the payback period is only 2.5 years. Now that you are familiar with how the payback period is calculated, let's look at how it is used in investment appraisal. The decision criteria is quite straightforward. The organization will set its maximum acceptable payback period first. If the payback period is less than the maximum acceptable payback period, the project is acceptable. When comparing a few projects, the one with the fastest or shortest period should be accepted. The next method is net present value or NPV. NPV of a project is the potential change in an investor's wealth caused by that project while the time value of money is being accounted for. It equals the present value of net cash inflows generated by a project less the initial investment on the project. It is one of the most reliable measures used in capital budgeting because it accounts for the time value of money by using discounted cash flows in the calculation. Let's look at an example. An investment of $5,000 today is expected to return $2,000 of cash each year for 4 years. Let's assume that the receipts are discounted by 20%. After the future cash receipts of $2,000 for 4 years are discounted to their present value. They are to be combined and the total present value of those receipts is $5,176. Since the initial investment is $5,000, therefore NPV, in this case, is plus $176. Next, let's look at how to use this NPV in the assessment. The project should be accepted if NPV is more than 0 and rejected if it is less than 0. What about if it equals to 0? In this case, the project should also be accepted as the cash flow generated is at the required rate of return set by the company. To recap, these are the 3 methods used in capital budgeting or investment appraisal. This is the end of this video. See you in the next one.